Man, have I waited desperately and eagerly to talk about this book and this author. When I think of fiction and when I think of what really inspires me, or when I think of life, or when I think of characters, there is nothing and no one that has inspired me more than this author. I fell in real love with reading when I read his books. I mean, have I been always a reader? Yes. But the first person to make me sit back and think about life, way before I even understood these words called life and spirituality, etc., etc., was this man. So today, I really feel very, very, very happy to talk about him. I am, of course, talking about Harry Potter's Clifton series. Sorry, what am I doing? Jeffrey Archer's Clifton series. There is a reason why I uttered the word Harry Potter. Okay, and the reason is this. You see, the Clifton series also produced seven series books, right? And the comparison that I want to draw is I have always found the real life stories that Jeffrey Archer tells are more exciting than all of those magical stuff. I am not demeaning or taking away from all make believe world. But I've always found that with a master chef, life gives you more ingredients to build an amazingly exciting story than any make believe world. I want to say that I found the Clifton series to be the most exciting series I have ever read, including The Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter or any other series. Okay, as simple as that. That's the only intent of the comparison. My tryst with thinking about life also started with Jeffrey Archer. Before that, I read many other books. I had not really gone into spirituality or history and all, but whatever I was doing was for just pure enjoyment. I used to enjoy reading, whether it be Dr. Who's, whether it be Sidney Sheldon's, whether it be any of these books. And then when I read Jeffrey Archer's Kane and Abel, you see, it's a story about two people. It starts off when they're very young. Okay, it talks about their loves. It talks about their enmity. It talks about their struggles. Cain, the rich man, born in a esteemed, influential family. Abel, who was to struggle and rise up in life. The misery, the frustration, the great crash, the tragedy that it produced, the effect that it had on people. There are people who commit suicide. You Jeffrey Archer brings all of that to life. And then when these people marry, have kids, see, the whole suspense, the thrill is not produced by unnatural events. It is not like I am reading a book on a particular moment of time. If you're reading, say, Sidney Sheldon, he's trying to solve a mystery. The mystery is solved, the characters go home. You do not get affected by their lives. But here you see them grow. You see their kids get married. I remember the end of Cain and Abel, where these old people are going around with walking canes, you know, looking back at life. And then they're thinking all of this rivalry was meaningless. Or maybe that is what gave meaning to their life because they kept pushing each other and themselves to achieve more in life. As they sat there, and when that book ended, was the first time I thought about life itself. I thought about how we were living our lives and how one day we may be sitting with canes in our hands on a bench somewhere, just like Cain and Abel, and looking back and realizing, that life was gone. We were towards the end of it all. See, Jeffrey Archer managed to give you a lifetime in 3 or 4 days that I took to read Kane and Abel. And that's when I really understood the meaning of that, typical Hindi saying that "Char din ki zindagi." Because in front of my eyes, in 4 days, I had lived the life of Cain and Abel. I had seen Cain and Abel grow from kids to old age and death. And I realized that Jeffrey Archer might as well could have written a book about you and me and our lives as it ends at some point in old age. Hope. You know, that is what really brought Jeffrey Archer and life into my ecosystem, if you understand what I'm trying to say. It made me value the life that we are doing. It made me realize that any decision that I make today, I can look back many years later, like Abel was seeing it at old age. As I read As the Crow Flies and all the other books that he produced, Sons of Fortune, I could not leave any of those books because every one of them was a life for me. You live with them, you laugh with them, you cry with them when your loved ones get killed. And I realized how marvelous. Sidney Sheldon uses a murder to create suspense. Robin Cook goes about some story of medical this thing. All of these people, use a particular time frame and a certain unnatural event to create excitement. And I said, this man is just using the raw emotions that all of us experience in life and creating a story out of it. And you see, I see 7 billion stories. This man could go writing till the end of time about billions of people, and every one of us is a story. Jeffrey Archer was the true democratization of the novel because he showed that every man's story is a novel. Because every man that you meet on the street, specifically every old man, has seen laughter, tragedy, success, failure, and you could write a novel out of it. That to me was truly the epoch of writing. Jeffrey Archer is tried many other things, and I must say, amazing short stories, amazing a book called Honor of Thieves, Among Thieves, that still holds the record for the book that I've read the fastest in life. 3 hours, and I finished that novel. And it had nothing to do with life. It had to do with Saddam Hussein and the whole plot to kill Saddam, etc., from America. He showed he could produce an unbelievably exciting thriller in that genre too. And I loved that book. But vintage Jeffrey Archer will remain his telling a life story. I even read his prison diary. As you know, he went to jail and he wrote 3 volumes on his life in prison. And no one can make prison seem so thrilling and exciting. No one can make you feel engaged the way Jeffrey Archer made you feel. Made you realize what prison life is all about. Made you understand what it is to live in a jail. But coming back, I eagerly waited in those days for him to get back to his vintage formula. And then he produced the Clifton series, one after the other. Because people loved his life takes so much, he produced a series spanning generations and spanning volumes so that he could really not be binded by the fact that he had to finish a book in 300-400 pages. This life story was going to last as long as he had story to tell, and so it took 7 volumes to tell it, and not a single page of them is not filled with thrill. I have absolutely enjoyed reading it, and I absolutely relished running through it all over again this time, and I felt that this is a volume to cherish. If you are sitting at home and you are feeling bored, you should take the entire set of the Clifton series and just enjoy running through the adventures of the Clifton family. Thank you.